Welcome to Diamond.Standard.Gaming, and today we're back here at our treehouse village, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to add another house to our tree here. So here's what we have so far on our first video, and you can check that out right here. We built our tree and our first house, and then in this build we're going to go ahead and we're going to build the second house right on top of that little branch right there. So what I'm using is acacia wood blocks, and I'm going to build out a 12 by 12 block platform. So what I do is I just go out 6 on either end of this branch right here. So this building is going to be a little bit bigger than that top building that we built before. It's going to be about the same height as that building though. I think I make it 4 blocks tall off of the base. So here I'm just building the perimeter of the 12 by 12 base for this second house. And then I come back and I will fill it all in, and I'm using the acacia wood blocks. Alright, so there it is. That's how our 12 by 12 looks right now. And I will go ahead and fill all those empty spaces in a couple seconds right here. Okay. Oh, it looks like the day is still cycling. So there we are, back to daytime. And I turn day cycle off. So then what I do is, now that we finished that 12 by 12 platform up, I go underneath and off of that the tree branch right there, I build 2 acacia blocks out on either side, and then I just I fill it in all the way around, so it's a square that is, what would that be, 4, 6, 8, an 8 by 8 square, or 6 by 6. I think it's a 6 by 6 square on the bottom right here. And this is just to make it look like it has a strong base or a strong support, instead of sitting just on top of that little block. And then I go underneath that one that I just placed, and I just place a single acacia block around the perimeter, so that ends up being a 4 by 4 acacia block square. And then I go ahead and I add upside down stairs around each of those levels that we just placed, and one along the plain tree bark on the bottom there. So a similar process that we did in the first one, just to give it a real nice strong looking base. And that right there is how our finished base is now looking for our second treehouse house that we are building here. Then what I do is 1, 2, 3, and 4. I just build up the perimeter of this house, 4 blocks tall, and I go all the way around the entire perimeter, making it 4 blocks tall. Okay, and when we're done, it looks something just like this. So, like I said, exactly the same height as the first building right there, just a little bit wider. I think the first one was a 9 by 9. This is a 12 by 12 square. Then what I do is I go ahead and add the polished blackstone stairs around the top, and I build the roof up with that. And again, this type of roof is the one where the stairs kind of hug the corner there. You can see as I do the corner, they actually wrap right around. And I go ahead and add an overhang in, and then I go ahead and I build up the roof all the way to the top until both sides meet in the middle, just like that. And that's probably big enough in there where if I wanted to, I could put, like, I don't build the inside of the building, I just do the outside with the windows and the doors and everything. But if I wanted to, I could probably go ahead and add like a little loft area up there. Then what I do is I'm cutting in a little balcony here. So instead of like the first one, I made it the balcony wrap all the way around, where in this one I'm going to put a balcony on 2 of the sides, and then the 2 other sides are just going to have nothing. So this will be the balcony on the one side, and I leave 2 blank spaces from each side of the building, and then I build it out 3 blocks from the building itself. And then what I do is I go underneath and I add in a couple of these additional slabs here to kind of make it look like it's supported. So those are like beams sticking out of the building supporting this balcony, so it's not just kind of hanging flat out there. And I do the same thing in the middle. So that's how that looks right there. You can imagine those are like beams that go into the building, and I guess if you wanted to, you can use like actual logs instead of the slabs, and make it look more natural. Like maybe it's still part of the tree or something. In this case, I didn't do that. I just used the regular slabs. And I come on this side and do the same thing. On this side, though, instead, I come in 3 blocks from each side, and then I build across and out 3 from the building again. So it's a little bit smaller of a balcony on this side. And I do the same thing underneath, where I go ahead and I build in the beams on the bottom, again, to make it look like something supporting the balcony, and it's not just kind of floating out in the air there. Okay, that's the second balcony right there. And on this one, I cut a door in kind of off to the left. The first one, I cut a big double door in the center. In this one, because the deck was, a little smaller, I just cut it off to the left-hand side there. Then I go ahead and I just use the acacia wood fence to match the rest of the building, and put a fence around the balcony so that you don't fall off when you're up there. Okay, and I go ahead and throw some doors in. In this case, I chose to use the bamboo wood door, and I like that again because, like, for me, it's always about the contrast and making it look well together. So in this case, the doors look a little different than the balcony, and they definitely look different from the walls of the building. So lots of different contrast. Then I use the black stained glass for the windows in this case, and then that's nice because it shows nicely against the walls, but it also matches the roof of the building. And then on this side of the building, I'm going to go ahead and cut a really on this side of the building here, I'm going to go ahead and cut a real giant window in. It's going to be almost the entire wall on this side. And I come back in a second, you'll see I actually made it go all the way to the floor. So here we have a nice big window. It's got a pretty big view, but then that bottom block of acacia blocks there was actually blocking my view a little bit. So right here I go ahead and rip that out and replace it with the stained glass blocks. There we are. Big, nice giant window. Maybe a little scary if you were up there. And then I chose bamboo shutters here to kind of match the doors, and I go ahead and put or bamboo trap doors, and I use them as shutters. And I go all the way around the building and throw the shutters on all the windows. Then what I want to do here is I wanted to attach this top house to the bottom house in some way. So at first I was thinking I was going to add it like a ladder going right up to the balcony. But then that just didn't work out too well. Or I didn't think it would look that well. So what I end up doing here is I go ahead and break out a part of the stairs here on the bottom in a second. Yeah, here it didn't line up with the top, and I put another slab in there, and then you would just have this like straight, spruce block column sticking down and a ladder going up, and I didn't think that would look that cool. So here, what I do instead is I'm using these slabs, and I'm going to kind of build like a little stairway going up to not the balcony, but actually to the inside of the house. So I start here. I was going to put it at first, but then there you can see that's the wall actually. So I can't put it right there. So I got to kind of move it in and to the right a little bit. So the first thing I do is I move it in, but then I realize I can't place a stair on this upside down stair, or I can't place a ladder on the upside down stair piece right here. So I'm like, well, that way won't work either. So then here I go. Now I move in a little bit, so I moved in one towards the centered house, and then in both X and Y directions, or X and Z directions. And then here's where I'm gonna actually put my ladder going into the house. And then we'll come back later and we'll put a trapdoor or something to close off that opening. But for right now, this will be good enough. So here I am back on the bottom, putting more of the slab stairs in. And at first I kind of just make it like a single wide curvy staircase right there that comes down a little bit, but then I kind of decide it was like too narrow and it just felt like you were going to fall off. So here I go ahead and I make it a too wide staircase, and I always feel that makes things a lot better if you can make them too wide instead of just a single block wide. And it's just easier to walk on, as well, without falling off or balancing right in the middle, or without having to pay really close attention to where you're walking. So there we are. We have our double wide staircase. Come on up to this little opening, which we will add a trapdoor to in a little bit. And that right there, pretty much finishes up our build. You got our nice big window there for a view, and you can come out this balcony and see the rest of the world. If you look out to the right there, or you go out to this other balcony and look up at the hill, you can see our castle build right up there. And then of course you can take our stairs here up to the other house. So yeah, definitely let me know in the comments what you think of this build, and if you have any other ideas of other things, or what would you like to see in the next house that we build that's part of this treehouse village. We're going to go ahead and build another house up on the tallest branch there, and then we're going to probably also build another one probably lower down, kind of in the middle where the three branches meet, and that's going to kind of be like the common living area down there. It'll probably be the biggest one, the biggest of the 4 buildings, I guess. And then what we'll have to do is just add some stairs or something to get up to all these houses from the ground. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, have a great day.